Hey, where are you? We were supposed to go sightseeing together today. You just disappeared suddenly. We still have plans for the rest of the day, so please come back soon.
Rachel went into labor. I just got the message.
Rachel?
My ex-girlfriend? That Rachel is in labor, so I'm heading back to the U.S. first. Sorry to cut our honeymoon short, but I'm worried about her.
You're going back to the U.S. from Italy for your ex-girlfriend's childbirth, but we're on our honeymoon.
She's giving birth alone, and she must be feeling anxious, so she needs someone there for her. You're a woman, too, and someday you'll give birth, so you should be able to understand Rachel's feelings.
I understand that giving birth alone can be scary, but why does it have to be you, Kevin? Who's more important to you? Me, your wife, or your ex-girlfriend?
Wow, people actually say that line in real life. Think about it. Who needs my help more right now? Rachel, who's giving birth all alone, or you leisurely enjoying a vacation in Italy? It's obvious, isn't it? And yet all you can think about is yourself.
Leisurely enjoying a vacation? This is our once-in-a-lifetime honeymoon. If this was about Linda or a family emergency, I wouldn't be saying any of this. But we're talking about your ex-girlfriend here.
So you treat people differently depending on who they are? That's really low of you. I'm heading back to the U.S. to be there for Rachel's childbirth.
If she's already in labor, you won't make it in time even if you go back now. The travel time alone is over half a day.
I want to be there to support her after she's exhausted from childbirth. You should understand that. Jeez, how cold-hearted can you be? While I'm gone, cool your head and try to fix that cold heart of yours.
You're really going to leave me and go back to the U.S.?
Yes, I am. Rachel needs me more than you do right now.
Kevin, please think about what you're doing. This is our honeymoon. We've been planning this for months.
And Rachel has been planning this baby for months, too. She needs support.
Doesn't she have family, friends, anyone else who could be there for her?
They're not the same. I've known her since we were kids. I understand her better than anyone.
Better than her own family? Kevin, I'm your wife. We just got married.
And I'm still going. My mind is made up. I'll make it up to you later, I promise.
You can't just abandon your wife during your honeymoon and think you can make it up later.
Look, I've already booked the flight. I'm at the airport now. I'll text you when I land.
Kevin, please don't do this. If you leave now, it says a lot about your priorities.
My priority right now is helping someone in need. You're fine on your own for a few days.
This isn't about me being fine. It's about you abandoning your wife for your ex.
I'm not abandoning you. I'm just going back a few days early. You're being dramatic.
I can't believe this is happening. Did you ever really want this honeymoon at all?
Of course I did, but emergencies happen. This isn't how I planned things either.
A friend having a baby isn't an emergency that requires you specifically to be there.
To me it is. I'll text when I land.
Enjoying your honeymoon? Your private time as newlyweds will be ending soon, so make sure to fully enjoy your honeymoon. Linda, I'd like to, but actually, Kevin just ran off saying he's going back to the U.S. What? Going back? But you still have days left on your trip. Are you coming back too? No, just Kevin is going back first. He's leaving you in Italy? Why would he do that? He received a message from a woman he said is his ex-girlfriend, saying she's in labor, and then Kevin suddenly said he needed to go back right away. What? He left you to rush to his ex-girlfriend's side? Yes, apparently this ex-girlfriend is giving birth alone, and he said she must be feeling anxious, so he needs to be there to support her. I tried to stop him, but he called me heartless. And I couldn't prevent him from leaving. I think he's at the airport now. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry, Jessica. My foolish son is doing something incredibly stupid. You don't need to apologize, Linda, but I don't know what to do now. I can't believe he's going back to the US for his ex-girlfriend, even if she is giving birth alone and feeling anxious. I'll try contacting Kevin too. Maybe I can stop that foolish son of mine. Thank you, Linda. By the way, you mentioned earlier that our private time as newlyweds would be ending soon. What did you mean by that? What do you mean? Aren't you pregnant now, Jessica? Huh? Kevin told me you were expecting. That's why I gave him money for hospital expenses. I'm not pregnant, Linda. He told you that? That lying. I can't believe he would make up something like this. I don't understand why he would tell you that. We never even discussed having children yet. I thought that we would get a chance to talk about that on this trip. And he just up and left you. Jessica dear, I'm so sorry. You must feel terrible right now. I'm just in shock. I don't know what to do. Should I just go home? Don't rush your decision. Take a day to think. You paid for that trip too.
Did you have to tattle to my mom? Thanks to you, she gave me an earful. My flight's about to leave. This is the worst. Are you that upset about me going back?
Of course I am. Who prioritizes their ex-girlfriend during their honeymoon? I won't enjoy staying in Italy alone. I planned this trip to enjoy it with you.
I already apologized. I said I'm sorry. Are you so narrow-minded that you can't even accept an apology? Well, I guess someone who prioritizes herself even after knowing Rachel is in labor would be like that. You're only sensitive to your own pain and don't care about others' pain at all.
Why is this Rachel person relying on you in the first place? I understand feeling anxious about giving birth alone, but doesn't she have anyone else she can count on? Why does it have to be you, Kevin?
I'll say this as many times as I have to, but Rachel and I have been friends since elementary school, so it's natural for her to rely on me. And if you keep complaining, I might not help you when you give birth.
That's a completely different situation.
No, it's the same. It's incredibly self-centered to think it's okay for you, but not for Rachel. You have me, but Rachel only has me. If I don't go to her, she'll be crushed by anxiety. That's how fragile she is. She's not like you who can live on her own.
Oh, that sounds rough. Well, if you're going to say it like that, go ahead and do whatever you want.
Finally giving in, huh? I'm leaving first, so you'll have to return on your own.
That's fine, as long as you're okay with whatever happens when I get back.
What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm about to leave.
Did you tell your mother I was pregnant?
What? Where did that come from?
Linda just told me you asked her for money because I was pregnant. Why would you lie about that?
It's not a big deal. We needed the money.
Not a big deal? You lied to your mother about me being pregnant.
Look, I knew we'd need the money eventually anyway. We are gonna have kids someday, right?
That's not the point. Did you use that money for Rachel?
We can talk about this when I get back. They're calling my flight.
Kevin, did you use that money for your ex-girlfriend's pregnancy?
It's complicated. She really needed help.
So you took money meant for your wife and gave it to another woman?
You're twisting things. It was just a loan. She'll pay it back.
I don't believe you. First, you abandoned me, and now I find out you've been lying about finances.
Look, I have to go. We'll sort this out when I get back. Hey, answer right away when I contact you. You're back in the US now, right?
What do you want? I'm still suffering from jet lag.
I need the car, so bring it to the address I'm gonna give you now.
If you need the car, why don't you come get it yourself?
Because I don't have time for that. I want to take Rachel home from the hospital, but I don't trust taxis, and I want to make sure I get her home safely myself.
So even after I return from Italy, you're still with your ex-girlfriend.
I don't have a choice. Rachel is small to begin with, and she's had a slow recovery, so her hospital stay was extended. Or what? Are you going to tell me to leave Rachel behind in her condition?
I don't care anymore. Stay with her as long as you want.
Oh, you finally understand how I feel. Since you understand what a kind person I am, you'll bring the car to the hospital, right?
Just to be clear, I don't understand. I've just given up, and I have no intention of bringing the car to the hospital.
What? You're still defying me?
Actually, I can't bring it even if I wanted to, because I gave the car to Linda.
What? That's my car! Why did you give it to my mom?
By the way, the car isn't the only thing I gave to Linda. After coming back, I immediately canceled our apartment lease and gave all your belongings to Linda. And since I canceled the lease, I couldn't keep the car in the parking lot. I consulted with Linda, and since there's extra parking space at your family home, I brought the car to her place just yesterday.
You canceled our apartment? You're kidding!
If you think I'm kidding, come and see for yourself. The move is complete, and I've already handed everything over to the property management company. It should be empty now.
What the hell are you doing on your own?
I got Linda's permission too. I don't have confidence in staying married to someone who cut our honeymoon short to choose his ex-girlfriend. Since the apartment was for us as a couple, it makes sense to cancel it.
For something this small?
Only you think it's small. No one else in the world would say something this small about a husband who leaves his wife during their honeymoon to rush to his ex-girlfriend. Didn't you know that?
You're mocking me. You're saying this because you want me to come back, but I won't abandon Rachel.
If that's what you want, Kevin, I'm fine with it. If you really need the car, ask Linda.
Damn, what a pain! You better remember this.
You still don't get it, do you? You abandoned me in a foreign country.
It wasn't abandonment. I just had to help Rachel.
Without even discussing it with me first. Without considering my feelings at all.
I knew you wouldn't understand.
That's exactly the problem, Kevin. You made a unilateral decision that affected both of us.
I had to act quickly. There wasn't time to debate.
There's always time for a quick conversation with your wife. Hey, my friend is in trouble. I feel like I need to help. That would have been all it took.
And you would have said no.
You don't know that. You didn't even give me the chance to understand.
It doesn't matter now anyway. I need the car. Where exactly did you put my stuff?
Everything is with Linda. Every last thing that belonged to you.
You had no right to do that.
And you had no
request. I want to use the car now. Could you bring it over? I just heard from Jessica that it's at your house now.
You interrupted your honeymoon to come back, and now you suddenly want me to bring you your car on sudden notice. What do you need it for?
Well, my ex-girlfriend had a baby, so I've been helping her, and she's being discharged today, so I want to drive her home.
Rachel, the Harrison's daughter, right?
Yeah, you know her too. She's not a stranger, so don't be difficult and let me use the car. I'll need it for various things from now on, and I need to buy a child seat too.
I'm speechless. Why do you feel the need to go this far?
Mom, you gave birth to me, so you should understand how hard it is for a woman with a newborn. Don't you want to help her?
If it were Jessica, I wouldn't hesitate, but I have no intention of doing anything for the woman who caused you to abandon your wife during your trip. Besides, the car is in my name. I took out the loan and I'm paying for it. It's mine in every sense, so I have no obligation to grant your request.
I didn't know you were such a cold person, Mom. So anyone who isn't Jessica or family doesn't matter to you? Why are you taking Jessica's side so much anyway?
You don't know this, but I was actually pregnant with a daughter once. I always wanted a daughter, so I was really happy. But just when she was about to be born, I miscarried. After that, I vowed to cherish your wife like my own daughter when you got married.
So you're taking Jessica's side and turning against your own son? That's stupid!
Before calling others stupid, don't you have something to say to me?
What are you talking about?
What happened to the money I gave you for childbirth expenses not long ago? Jessica consulted me, saying you were short on money because she was pregnant, so I gave you money for the delivery costs. But Jessica isn't pregnant. Don't tell me you used that money for your ex-girlfriend's delivery expenses.
Even if I did, it's still for childbirth, so isn't that fine?
Do you really think that? I gave that money for Jessica. If I had known it would go to your ex-girlfriend's delivery, I would never have given it to you.
But we needed the money! There was no choice!
You still don't understand what you've done. Who did you marry, Kevin? Who did you choose as your life partner?
Well...
You keep blaming me and Jessica, but why don't you ever reflect on yourself? If you had considered her feelings even once, you wouldn't have done this.
I'm sorry, but Rachel can't live without me!
After all this, you're still prioritizing that girl over Jessica. I was hoping you'd come to your senses. From now on, I won't do anything for you again. I won't give you the car, and I want you to return the childbirth money I gave you.
Seriously? That was money you gave me!
I didn't give it to you. I gave it for Jessica. And let me tell you, this isn't about favoritism. As your parent, I need to correct this mistake.
I already told Rachel I'd get her a car, and the money... Rachel is unemployed, and I barely have any savings!
That's not my problem. You're a grown adult, so take responsibility for your own actions.
Damn!
And one more thing, Kevin. Were you planning to tell me about the baby at all?
Of course I was! Eventually!
Were you going to tell me it was Rachel's baby, or continue lying that it was Jessica's?
I don't know! I hadn't thought that far ahead!
That's exactly your problem. You never think ahead. You just do what feels right in the moment.
Mom, please, Rachel really needs help right now!
And whose fault is that? Did you ever stop to consider what you were doing?
It's complicated. Rachel and I have history.
History that should have ended when you married Jessica.
You don't understand our relationship.
I understand perfectly well. You're keeping both women on a string.
That's not fair. I care about both of them.
No, Kevin, you only care about yourself and what makes you feel good.
That's not true! I'm trying to help someone in need!
While abandoning your responsibilities to your wife, I raised you better than this.
So you're just gonna leave me stranded? Your own son?
You're not stranded. You're facing the consequences of your choices.
Calmed down by now, right? We can look for another apartment later, but until then, I don't think I have enough money for living expenses. You had quite a bit of savings, didn't you? Lend me some money.
You mean living expenses for you and your ex-girlfriend, right? Why should I give money for you to live with some woman I don't even know? I refuse.
Don't say that! We have a newborn baby, too! Besides, the reason I'm staying with Rachel is because you canceled our apartment on your own!
If you really want to come back to me, why don't you leave your ex-girlfriend and go back to your family home?
Shut up! Just give me the money you've earned like you always do!
You really don't feel any guilt towards me, do you? It's true that in the past, I sometimes gave you the money I earned, but that was because I loved you. I've always been an introvert, and I was attracted to your brightness, which I didn't have. You were my first boyfriend, so I was really happy when you proposed. That's why I overlooked your carelessness with money. But during this incident, I became certain that you've just been using me all along. You started treating me poorly as soon as we got married.
That's just your paranoia!
Are you serious? You literally left me in Italy during our honeymoon to rush to your ex-girlfriend. Oh wait, she's not your ex. She's your mistress, isn't she?
What? What are you talking about?
This Rachel, she's not just an ex-girlfriend, but someone you're currently involved with, right?
That's not true!
You won't admit it, but I heard from Linda. This was my first trip abroad ever, and you asked your mom for money months ago, saying you were going abroad with me? But you told me it was a business trip, when it was actually a trip with your mistress, wasn't it?
What?
If you say it's not true, I can contact your company to confirm. Actually, I already did.
What? Don't do things on your own!
And bingo! There was no such business trip. Maybe the baby Rachel had is actually yours. That's why you're so desperate to take care of them.
Don't make assumptions! Don't you think it's weird to suspect your own husband of having an affair? Normally you'd trust me!
Still won't admit it, huh? If you're going to insist, then prove that Rachel's baby and you aren't related. Take a DNA test or whatever, and I won't be satisfied until you show me the results.
A DNA test? Is that really necessary?
Yes, it is, because it will affect the amount of compensation I'll demand.
Compensation?
Obviously, the compensation you'll pay when we divorce.
You don't care what happens to us?
You're acting like the victim, but you reap what you sow. You're just being overly sensitive about your own pain while completely disregarding mine. While you and Rachel were selfishly enjoying yourselves, do you know how I felt returning alone? You're an adult, Kevin, so take responsibility for your actions. This compensation is the amount you need to pay for your responsibility.
But I barely have enough for living expenses, and I have to return the childbirth money to Mom! There's no way I can pay compensation. Listen, I'm sorry. The only one I really love is you, but she seduced me. I had no choice.
Wow, so cheating men really do say lines like that. If you truly loved me, you wouldn't cheat. Any other excuses? No, right? Well then, expect a call from my lawyer soon. I advise you to answer it because ignoring it won't make things better. So, be happy with your mistress.
Damn!
How long have you been seeing her behind my back?
It's not like that! We reconnected a few months ago!
Before or after our wedding?
Before, but it wasn't serious!
Not serious? She's having your baby!
I never said it was mine!
Then whose is it? And why are you so invested in her and this baby?
It's complicated! We have history!
History that should have ended when you proposed to me, or was I just a backup plan?
No! I love you, Jessica! I really do!
Love doesn't abandon someone in a foreign country. Love doesn't lie about pregnancies to get money. Love doesn't cheat.
I made mistakes, I admit that, but can't we work through this?
There's nothing to work through. You've shown me who you truly are.
People change! I can change!
I'm sure you can, but not with me. I deserve better than this.
You're just going to throw away our marriage? Just like that?
You threw it away first, Kevin. I'm just finalizing what you started.
Please, Jessica, I need you!
No, you need my money. There's a difference.
That's not fair! I need both!
It took some time, but the divorce has finally been finalized. Thank you for your cooperation all this time. It's nothing. My son caused you trouble. I wanted to make sure he didn't bother you anymore. Linda, I really appreciate everything you've done for me. Though we were family for only a short time, you treated me so well that I consider you my second mother. I'm truly grateful. Just hearing those words is enough for me. I only did what I needed to do. Jessica, be happy, even after divorcing Kevin. I'm sincerely rooting for your happiness. I'm really sorry my stupid son caused you so much trouble. You don't need to apologize, Linda. Kevin is an adult, so it's all his responsibility. If my son ever bothers you again, contact me right away. I'll come running. Yes. Have you thought about what you'll do next? I've actually been taking some time for myself, processing everything. That's good. You deserve that time. I never thought divorce would be in my future, especially not so soon after marriage. None of this was your fault, Jessica. I hope you know that. I know. It just takes time to really believe it. Take all the time you need, and remember, even though you and Kevin are no longer together, I still consider you family. That means more to me than you know, Linda. I meant what I said about you being like the daughter I never had. And you've been a real mother to me through all this. Have you heard anything from Kevin lately? Only through the lawyers. He tried calling a few times, but I blocked his number. That's probably for the best. Clean break and all. How is he doing, if you don't mind me asking? Struggling, from what little he tells me, but that's not your concern anymore. You're right. I need to focus on my future now. A bright future. on the condition that I wouldn't file a lawsuit. He agreed to pay the settlement in installments. His affair partner Rachel couldn't work because she was caring for the newborn, and with child-rearing expenses, Kevin decided to work nights too. Already tight on money. With the settlement payments on top, they barely have enough to get by each day. Due to fatigue and stress from working 2 jobs, he fights constantly with Rachel, and apparently their small apartment echoes with arguments daily. I heard he contacts his mother once a month begging for help, but she turns him away each time. Since he has no money to waste in the first place, I guess his spending habits were forcibly cured. As for me, I started living comfortably by myself, and began using the money I used to give Kevin for myself instead. I used to have no hobbies, but after trying various things, I discovered pottery as a new interest. Though I was always poor at socializing, I seem to connect well with the students at the pottery class I'm attending. We've built a comfortable relationship. There's an exhibition at the class next month, so I'm thinking of inviting Linda too.
This is Sarah Mitchell, right? Are you ready for your final interview tomorrow? How's your mental preparation for this?
I'm sorry, who is this? I received your message, but I don't have this number saved on my phone.
What? You don't have this number saved? You've gone through multiple rounds of interviews with us, and you don't recognize who this could be?
I apologize, but it's for security reasons. I don't respond to unsaved numbers without verification. Could you please identify yourself before we continue the conversation?
And you still think you're serious about working at our bank? This kind of caution might be good for banking, but it's quite cold, don't you think?
You're from the bank that I've been interviewing with, I assume? I just want to be certain who I'm speaking with.
Of course I'm from the bank. Did you think this was just a random message? I specifically looked up your contact information to help you with the next step.
I appreciate that, but could you please tell me your name and position? It would help me understand the context of this conversation better.
This is Parker. I was one of your interviewers last week. I'm the HR director, so I'll be at your final interview tomorrow, too. We're looking forward to seeing you again. You were quite impressive in the previous rounds.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your name and your contact info. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, too. Thank you so much for reaching out.
That's it? Just thank you for reaching out? After I took time from my Sunday evening to text you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Was there anything wrong? What do you mean? I genuinely appreciate you checking in on me before the interview.
Do you know how many candidates we're interviewing for this role? How many applications I had to review for this? I chose to reach out to you personally, and all you say is thank you?
I understand this is a competitive position, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to interview again. Was there something specific you wanted to discuss with me about tomorrow?
I reached out to help support you for tomorrow's final interview. I'm being so kind to you, and all I get is a simple thank you? Most candidates would be more enthusiastic about this kind of personal attention from their interviewer.
I apologize if I seemed ungrateful about this. What would be the appropriate way to show my appreciation? I want to make sure I understand your expectations.
You're quite formal in your messages. Almost too formal, if you ask me. We should fix that before tomorrow. The banking industry is all about personal connections.
I see. How would you suggest I adjust my communication style?
Well, for starters, you could be more friendly. You can be more open to building relationships. After all, your future career might depend on it.
I try to maintain professional boundaries with my interviewers, especially during the interview process. I hope you understand.
Professional boundaries. Is that what you call it? I'm trying to help you here. Do you know how many candidates would love this kind of personal attention?
I appreciate your interest in helping me succeed. But I'd prefer to focus on the formal interview process. Could you tell me more about what to expect tomorrow?
You're always so proper, so careful with your words. I'm free tomorrow night. I could give you a private interview if you'd like.
A private interview? I'm sorry, I really don't understand what you mean. Could you clarify the purpose of this private interview?
Let's say you make some mistakes in tomorrow's final interview. This would be a follow-up private interview to make up for that. Think of it as insurance. A backup plan. Everyone needs one of those, right?
I see. So that's what you mean. You're suggesting an unofficial interview after hours outside of the office?
Don't make it sound so formal. Just see it as two professionals having a conversation. Just building connections. That's how the real world works. You do want to work in the real world, don't you?
The real world also has professional standards and ethical guidelines, which I intend to follow no matter which company I interview for.
You sound just like those HR training videos. All rules and no flexibility. Is that really how you want to start your career?
I believe following proper procedures is important, especially in banking. Wouldn't you agree?
That's such a serious response. You're making this more complicated than it needs to be. I'm offering to help you to ensure you get this position. To mentor you. Guide your career so you can be successful.
So you're assuming I'll make mistakes? I appreciate your concern, but that won't be necessary. I plan to be myself and speak honestly during the interview, so please don't worry about that. While I appreciate the offer of follow-up support, I'd prefer to handle things like this on my own.
Handle things on your own? That's quite presumptuous. You think you can succeed in banking alone? Without any support? Without any friends?
I believe in building professional relationships through appropriate channels, during business hours, in professional settings, not outside or after hours.
Pretty bold talk for someone who's about to get rejected for this role. Very bold indeed. Almost arrogant, I'd say.
Is that a threat towards me?
A threat? Why would I threaten you? I told you I'm the HR director, right? I have the final say in all hiring decisions for all the candidates. And are you sure about this? About taking this tone with me?
What exactly do you mean? It feels like you're just trying to pressure me. Are you saying I won't get an offer unless I spend evening hours with you outside of work? I want to be very clear about what's being suggested here.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I never said anything about offers or conditions. I can't say that explicitly, but you should think carefully about what this means. All I can say is that your decision now will affect your future career. Not just at our bank, but in the industry. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true of any decision, isn't it? Every choice affects our future somehow. I'm sorry, but I have plans tomorrow evening, and I don't think it's appropriate to meet privately with anyone before officially starting work, so I'll have to decline. I hope you understand my position.
Plans? Unbelievable! You have something more important than your career? Than your future? More important than this opportunity I'm offering you?
I've explained my position already, and my mind will not change. I've told you clearly and professionally. I don't think there's anything more to discuss right now.
Don't blame me for what happens in tomorrow's interview, then. I had no idea you were this unprofessional, this ungrateful, this naive. You're going to regret this, I can promise you that. Mark my words.
I don't understand what you mean by that, but I don't think I've said anything inappropriate to you, so I'll be fine. Thank you for your concern and attention. I look forward to a professional interview tomorrow.
Professional? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. A true professional would understand the importance of networking, of building relationships, of taking opportunities when they're offered.
I understand the importance of networking and building relationships, but they should be based on mutual respect and professional boundaries.
Professional boundaries again. You really are something else. We'll see how far those boundaries get you. We'll see indeed. This is beyond unprofessional. Your attitude is very concerning. How did you even make it to the final round of the interview process? You're not listening to what I say. You're rejecting good advice, and you still want to work at our bank?
I'm preparing for tomorrow's interview. I would appreciate some space to focus so I can prepare for it.
Space? You want space? When I'm trying to help you? Are you hiding something? Is there something in your background check I should know about?
Nothing to hide. My qualifications are all in my application. Everything is properly documented for you guys to see.
Properly documented? There's more to success than just documents. Much more. But you don't seem to understand that.
I understand perfectly well. I just disagree with your methods.
My methods? I'm offering you invaluable guidance, industry insights, career advancement opportunities, and you're questioning my methods?
I don't question your position or authority. Just the appropriateness of this conversation, especially at this hour.
This hour? Banking never sleeps. We work all hours of every day. That's what you're signing up for. Or did you think this was a 9-to-5 job?
I understand the demands of the industry, but this isn't about work hours. This is about appropriate professional conduct.
You keep saying appropriate and professional, like some kind of robot. Is that what you think banking is? Following rule books?
I don't understand what you're implying. It's getting late, so I should go. Thank you for contacting me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's interview.
Going so soon? When I'm trying to have a serious discussion about your future? Your career? Is it not important to you?
Yes, I need to rest before the interview tomorrow. I want to be at my best for the interview.
Your best? You've got some nerve coming to our interviews, acting all proper and professional when you're hiding things.
Hiding things? What exactly are you suggesting?
Your background, your family situation. Didn't think that would come up, did you? Didn't think we'd check thoroughly?
My family situation? I don't see how that's relevant to interview for this position.
Of course! Everything is relevant. Everything matters in banking. Especially background. Especially family. Didn't expect some poor kid from a broken home trying to sneak into our ranks. Did you?
Wow, you really went there. Your behavior hasn't been very professional either. Is this how you treat all candidates when they interview with your company?
Don't turn this around on me! What would a college student know about being professional? You're the one being completely unprofessional here, hiding your background, pretending to be something you're not!
I haven't hidden anything about my background. My application is completely honest. There are no lies on it, including my family background.
Honest? As if some bottom feeder from a single-parent household could work at our prestigious bank? You should have mentioned this earlier. Saved everyone's time.
The way you completely changed when you found out I'm from a single-parent home? Is this really how a major bank's HR director should act? Should candidates be judged on family status?
Don't lecture me about judgment. Poor people don't get hired here, period. That's just how it works. I'd love to see your parents' faces when they realize that their kid won't make it. You unprofessional brat.
I'm saving all these messages. All of them. Just so you know.
Save whatever you want. I don't care what you do. No one will believe you. It's your word against mine. And who do you think they'll believe? The HR director or some random candidate that happens to get to the final round of the interview process?
Are you aware of how disrespectful you're being? This is beyond inappropriate, but you should really think about what you're doing. Actions have consequences.
Consequences? No bank will hire you! Not after I'm done! Why did you even apply here? What made you think you belonged?
I applied because I'm qualified for this role. My family status doesn't change that.
Qualified? On paper, maybe. But there's more to banking than grades. More to success than test scores. Aren't you ashamed of being poor? Of coming from a broken home?
Your taunting is getting really unprofessional. You seem very confident in your position. Does being an HR director at a major bank give you the right to damage people's reputations? To discriminate based on family status?
Whatever, say what you want, none of it matters to me. You rejected my generous offer. My attempt to help you. At the end of the day, I have the final word to say who gets hired and who gets rejected. This is why I hate poor people. Always playing the victim. You're clearly unprofessional and definitely not getting hired. What a waste of time this has been. Should have checked your background first, before wasting everyone's time.
Are you finished? Or is there more discrimination you'd like to share?
I'd really love to see your parents' faces when they hear about this. When they realize their kid failed. Must be quite something to raise such an unprofessional daughter in such a broken home.
Maybe you should tone down the bullying towards the candidates. You seem to be having fun insulting my father, but you're going to regret this. More than you know.
Regret? No way! I don't want anything to do with poor people anyway, so this worked out. If you'd accepted my invitation, I might have considered you, but I guess that was too complicated for someone so unprofessional. Someone from your background.
You keep using that word, unprofessional. But everything you've done tonight is unprofessional. Everything you've said is inappropriate.
Save your lectures. A troubled family sneaking into our final interviews. Did you think we wouldn't find out? You're rejected. Don't bother showing up tomorrow. I really would love to see your parents' faces. To tell them personally why their kid failed.
Well, if you're so interested in meeting my father...
What's that supposed to mean? Another threat? From someone in your position?
Okay then, I'll just call my dad for you. Since you're so eager to meet him.
Please do! I'd love to explain to him why his daughter isn't cut out for banking. Why she doesn't belong here.
He says he can come see you in about an hour. I'm looking forward to you meeting my father. He's quite interested in this conversation.
What? An hour? Wait, who exactly is your father? What do you mean he's coming?
You wanted to meet him, right? You mentioned it several times in our texts. He's eager to discuss your hiring practices.
Now, hold on a minute. There's no need to escalate this. Let's discuss this professionally, like adults.
Professionally? Now you want to be professional? After everything you've said to me?
Perhaps I was a bit harsh earlier. The stress of hiring season, you understand, right? We could start fresh tomorrow. Forget this conversation ever happened.
It's too late for that. My father's already on his way to come meet you. Particularly interested in your comments about bottom feeders.
Listen, Sarah. I may have spoken out of turn. I said some things I didn't mean. Heat of the moment, you know?
Interesting how your tone has changed. You sound nervous. Is something wrong?
Sarah, could we possibly redo the final interview? I deeply apologize for my previous behavior. I regret my disrespectful comments. Please let me conduct another interview. A proper one this time.
No thanks. I thought I was just a poor kid from a broken home. Why the sudden change of heart?
About that, I was completely out of line. Those comments were unprofessional. Please, let's start over. I'll make it right.
Make it right? After threatening my career? After mocking my family? After trying to force a private meeting?
Why not give me a chance to apologize? I'll make sure you get the job. Just please come back. We can forget this whole thing. Start fresh tomorrow.
No thanks. I have no interest in seeing your face again. You're too disrespectful and unpleasant, and I don't like that calculating look in your eyes, so I don't see any value in meeting again. Besides, my father is very interested in meeting you.
Your father? Who exactly is he? What department does he work in?
Oh, now you want details? Now you're interested in my background?
Please, Sarah, let's be reasonable. Please don't say that. I'll apologize for my bad behavior. Formally, in writing, whatever you want.
I see you've met my father. I introduced him just like you wanted. Satisfied? My father's an executive VP that everyone at the bank knows. Still think I'm a bottom feeder from a troubled home? Do you still want to mock our family's status?
Not at all! I had no idea you were Mr. Mitchell's daughter! This is all a terrible misunderstanding. If I had known...
If you had known. So it's only okay to harass candidates if their fathers aren't executives? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I meant! You look pretty pale after meeting my dad. Did he show you the messages?
All of them. Every single one. I just did what you asked and introduced my wonderful father. Hope you now understand just how disrespectful you were. How inappropriate your behavior was.
Please, let me apologize on my knees. I just apologized to Mr. Mitchell, and he immediately said, I'm fired. Of course, I know it's not that simple to fire someone, but this will destroy my position in the company. Could you please talk to your father? Put in a good word. Explain it was all a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? Which part? The harassment? The discrimination? The threats?
I was just trying to help you through the hiring process, to mentor promising candidates. Your father must understand that.
Help? By demanding private meetings after hours? By threatening my career? By mocking my family background?
Please, Sarah, think about my position, my career, my family! Please, talk to your father and tell him it was all a misunderstanding.
Oh, now you care about families. Now that it's your family at stake? How ironic.
I can make this right. Just give me a chance. Tell your father it was a joke. A test, maybe. Anything.
No. You made your choices. Now face the consequences. Just like you said, every decision affects our future, right?
No, that's not it at all. Please, let me explain everything. I was just trying to encourage nervous candidates. I had no ulterior motives whatsoever. Your father needs to understand this. Please talk to him.
Really? Then why did you only contact female candidates? Interesting pattern there.
That's not true. I mentor many candidates. All kinds of candidates. This is a huge misunderstanding.
Is that why the other women at today's final interview said they got messages from you too? All with similar generous offers, similar private meetings. Some pattern that you use, wouldn't you say?
They're lying. This is a conspiracy. They're just trying to cause trouble.
I have their messages also. All the screenshots. And all the timestamps. This isn't the first time you've done this, is it? That's a complete abuse of power. Getting fired is the least of what you deserve. Actually, you might be lucky if firing is all that happens.
What do you mean? What are you saying? What's happening? I can't lose my job over something small like this.
Over this. For us job seekers, this search is our life's battle, our future, our careers. Using our vulnerable position for your own purposes, aren't you the lowest? This isn't just some small thing.
Please, you don't understand. I'm sorry. That was poorly worded. But I really didn't mean it that way. So could you please explain that to your father? It's all a misunderstanding. I can't lose my job over a misunderstanding. I worked so hard to become HR director. 20 years in this industry.
You should have thought about that before. Before the harassment. Before the discrimination. Before preying on your candidates.
I wasn't preying on anyone. I was just networking. I was building relationships. That's just how business works.
Is that what you call it? Threatening all these people's careers? Demanding private meetings outside of the office? Mocking their family backgrounds?
I understand. I apologize. I'm sorry for everything that I've said. You're absolutely right. Sarah, I am truly sorry. If needed, I'll get on my knees right now. Anything you want. Can you forgive me? Please?
This isn't about forgiveness. It's over as far as I'm concerned. The investigation will handle everything else.
Investigation? What investigation? What do you mean it's over? I'm about to lose my entire career over this stupid thing. How can you say it's over? Don't you understand what's at stake?
Your true colors are showing again. What do you mean by stupid thing? I've told you multiple times this isn't stupid to us. To any of the candidates you've harassed. Since you clearly don't get it, I'm done here. Goodbye.
Wait! Another poor choice of words! I'm really sorry. Look, I'll make sure you get hired here, so please just come back for a moment. I want to apologize to you in person and make this right.
I've said multiple times I don't want to see your face again. Besides, whatever you say, I'm already set to work there anyway. Obviously. Of course I worked hard and made it this far on my own merit, but now that you know I'm Mitchell's daughter, who would dare reject me? I don't need any help from you. I never did.
What? No way! But what? So I'm really getting fired over some text messages?
No, you are getting fired over harassment, over discrimination, over abuse of power, for preying on your candidates. The texts are just evidence that we can use against you.
Please, just give me one more chance. I'll do anything. Change departments. Take a demotion. Anything, please. Just don't fire me.
Yep, that's not my problem. Later, creepy old perv. Reflect on your actions forever. And remember, karma always comes around.
Wait, you can't just leave it like this. At least hear me out. I have a family too. Children to support.
Oh, now you want to talk about family? After mocking mine and saying terrible things to me? After using family status to discriminate?
Please, I'm begging you. Just give me 5 minutes. Face to face. Let me explain everything, please.
You've explained enough already. Through all these messages, every threat, every insult, every attempt at coercion, there's no need for further conversation.
Those messages were a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly. The pressure of hiring season, the stress of the job.
Interesting. So stress makes you harass candidates? Pressure makes you discriminate? Is that your defense?
No, that's not what I meant. I'm a good person. Ask anyone in the industry. 20 years of service, perfect record.
Perfect record? The other candidates might disagree. The ones you've been messaging. The ones you've been threatening. The ones you've been meeting privately.
Those were professional meetings. Mentoring sessions. Career guidance. Nothing inappropriate.
Save it for the investigation. I'm sure they'll be very interested in your mentoring methods, in your expense reports, in your message history.
Please, I'll do anything. Name your price, whatever you want.
And now trying to bribe me because you know who my father is? You really don't learn, do you? You keep digging that hole deeper. I'm sure the investigators will love this too.
Don't twist my words. I'm just trying to make things right. To fix this. To save my career.
Your career? That's all you care about? Not the people you've hurt? Not the lives you've affected? Not the trust you've betrayed?
I can change. Give me a chance. I'll prove it. I'll be a better person.
Too late for that. Way too late. Actions have consequences. Time to face yours.
You're destroying me. Over some text messages? This isn't fair. You're ruining everything.
No, you destroyed yourself. With every threat, every insult, every abuse of power. I'm just showing people who you really are.
You don't understand. This job is everything to me. My whole life. My identity.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you need to lose it all. To understand what you've done. To see how it feels. To be powerless. To be at someone else's mercy.
Please, just one more chance. I'm begging you.
Goodbye, Mr. Parker. Enjoy unemployment. And remember, every time you apply for a job, every time you face rejection, every time you feel powerless, remember how you treated others when you had the power.
Sarah, please!
In the end, investigations revealed that Parker had a history of contacting candidates and trying to force inappropriate relationships using company funds. He was reported to the police and obviously fired from the bank. Information was circulated throughout the banking industry to prevent him from ever working in the field again. The police involvement and permanent industry blacklisting led to him losing his career. He had to pay compensation to the bank and apologize to his previous victims. Sarah doesn't care what happened to him after that. Parker deeply regrets his actions now that he's hit rock bottom, but it's far too late. Apparently, he's enjoying his new life as a bottom feeder now.
Hey there, Jane. I need to have a little talk with you about your conduct around the office. So, if you have a minute, I'd like you to respond to these texts, as the things we need to discuss are really quite serious. I'm sorry that we can't discuss them in person, but they are so serious that I had to reach out to you right away. You do realize that you're just a regular employee, right? You're not a supervisor or manager or anything like that. And yet I've heard that you were chastising my daughter earlier today. Do you think that you have that kind of authority around here? I'm sorry, but I would really like to know just why you think that kind of behavior is appropriate around here. Now, I'm just curious what made you think that it was appropriate for someone in your position to go and do something like that, because I don't recall those privileges ever being in your contract, and I don't think I see other employees going around acting the way that you were towards my daughter.
Hello, Mr. Perry. I take it that you're talking to me about the conversation that I had with your daughter Lily earlier today, yes? I mean, I suppose there really couldn't be any other example of me chastising your daughter that you could be talking about. Well, the thing is that she has been showing up to work almost an hour late every day for several weeks now. Now, I don't mean to presume any kind of authority around here that I don't have, but the fact of the matter is that her behavior has been putting us behind schedule for some time now. While I'm not an official supervisor, I was tasked with looking after her while she learns the ropes of the job, so I was only trying to help her understand the importance of being at work on time. After all, I just wanted to make sure that she knew the effect her actions were having on the company and wanted to make sure she was also aware of the consequences of her actions. I wasn't trying to chastise or bully her, but I thought that she should know it wasn't okay to do that. I really didn't mean to overstep my authority in doing any of this at all, but I wanted to make it clear the consequences of her behavior. In fact, I'm glad you're reaching out to me about this. I was hoping that you could talk to her about this problem as well. As I mentioned earlier, this isn't the first or even second or third time that she has done something like this. This is a much more serious problem that the whole office has been having with her.
What in the world are you talking about? You have got a lot of nerve even trying to talk to me, your boss, in that way. Honestly, just who do you think you are trying to tell me what is best or what is not best for my company? If I wanted to have you input on how to deal with employees, then you would have been hired at the managerial level. Didn't you ever consider that? I really have no idea just where you get off talking to me, much less my daughter, in that way.
I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? I really wasn't trying to step on anyone's toes. It's just that I was told to show her the ropes. It's like I was saying, her behavior was putting the whole team behind schedule, and so I just wanted to make sure she realized that she was actually impacting people around her through her actions.
And now my daughter is absolutely furious. Tell me, do you talk to my daughter in that same condescending tone when you try and show her the ropes? I mean, really, I just have no idea what in the world would make you think that you can talk to any other employee in the office, let alone my daughter, in the way that she was telling me you talked to her. I really just don't understand how a mature adult could ever think that that is acceptable. You should know that I'm her father, and I know very well that she's a capable worker who doesn't need someone of your standing telling her what to do. And if I ever thought that she needed someone to talk to her about her performance around here, then as her father, I would see to that myself, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, but are you telling me that I shouldn't have told her to stop showing up to work so late every day? I'm just a little confused. I know that I might not be your daughter's manager or anything like that, but I don't think it's unreasonable for one coworker to say to another that their behavior is causing problems around the office and that it's important that they try and fix it.
I'm the head of this division. Don't you think I'm already aware of when people are showing up on time and when they're late? You're not seeming to understand that I don't pay you to keep an eye on what other people are doing. I pay you to do your job and shut up, and that's it. If I had a problem with my daughter showing up late, then I would say something about it. Didn't that thought ever even cross your mind? Do you really think that you know better what this office does and doesn't need, and how these projects are or are not going to get done than I do? If that were the case, then you would be the boss and I would be in your position.
I'm sorry, I'm really confused here. Are you telling me that you're okay with your daughter acting this way around the office? That just doesn't sound right. I am sure that there have been other people who have worked for this company who have had conversations with their coworkers about their behavior and fixing it. This all seems a bit like an overreaction to a simple misunderstanding.
I'm telling you that you have got a lot of nerve thinking that you can go and yell at my daughter about how to do her job. I don't know how many times you're going to make me repeat myself over this point, but I'm ready to keep going over the same thing over and over again until you finally get it. You're nothing but a little peon in this company. You're a replaceable worker drone who seems to have forgotten their place. So why don't you remember that the next time you think to open your mouth and say something that's outside the parameters of your job, huh?
Mr. Perry, I'm really sorry if I've done something wrong. I didn't mean to overstep my authority, but I don't think there's any need to talk to me like this. I mean, really, I am not trying to tell you how to do your job at all either, but I think that this is a very inappropriate way to handle this conversation, especially given the fact that this all has to do with the way I talk to your daughter. I only told your daughter what I said because I was tasked with showing her how things work around here. She was behaving in such a way that was negatively impacting those around her, and I just wanted to make sure she was aware of the consequences of her actions. Can we please just calm down and try to think about this a little more rationally? I mean, would you be okay with any other employee showing up that late? I just can't seem to wrap my head around why it is that you're acting this way towards me about all of this. You've warned plenty of others not to be late. I was only taking after your example. And again, I don't think in any other scenario that anyone would be acting this drastically towards what I said to your daughter. I really do think that I was well within my rights to do what I did.
I don't care what you thought you were doing. The fact of the matter is that you talked to my daughter like that, and now she's upset. And if you think anything is going to take precedent over how my daughter feels, then you've got another think coming. I don't care what you think about how this should have been handled, or how I'm handling it now. If I wanted your opinion on any of that, then I'd ask for it. Do you get me? So clearly you don't know how to handle helping other employees if all you do is make them cry. What did you even say to her that made her so upset? You're going on about how reasonable you were acting, but haven't taken responsibility for all of the hurt that you put her through.
Mr. Perry, I really don't know what to say to this except that I feel this anger is really uncalled for. I understand why you're upset, and I certainly didn't mean to upset your daughter over what she did, but I still think that I was within my rights to speak up. I really don't think there's any need for you to get this upset over what I said to Lily. I mean, I recall quite well what I said, and I don't think it was any more or any less than what I would have said to any other employee acting the same way that she was. And I'm sorry, but I still don't understand why you're even this upset with me to begin with. I was asked to oversee Lily as she starts working here. I have seniority over her just by virtue of how long I've been in the office. So I get that I'm not her manager or her supervisor, but it's also not like I don't have any authority or knowledge beyond what she does either. I'm sorry, but this whole thing just feels blown out of proportion to me. I really can't see how I did anything that would be considered inappropriate given my position in the company. I truly apologize for any hurt feelings, but I think that I spoke very professionally and didn't say anything that I wouldn't say to me about my performance.
Well, it sounds to me like someone needs to remind you of how things work around here. Or are you just gonna keep up this back talk until I have no choice but to fire you?
Are you really threatening to fire me just over this? I think that's a little extreme, don't you? I mean, I just really don't think that would fly anywhere, especially given that we have this whole text conversation to serve as a record of what was said between us. But if the problem you're having is that I was the one who spoke to your daughter about being at work on time, then maybe you could talk to her about this problem. Because the fact of the matter is that, as I've already said above several times, her lateness really is starting to affect our output. And if you think your daughter could be put on the right track, then that would be a huge help to me. I think she would be more likely to listen to you anyways. Does that sound agreeable to you? I mean, you don't seem to want me to talk to her, so maybe if you could talk to her instead, that might be better?
Oh, so now you're trying to tell me what to do as well? You really just don't know when to shut your mouth, do you? Honestly, what in the world is it with your generation that you think you can just talk to anyone in any way that you want? I would have thought that you'd know better than to talk to me in this way, but I guess you just show everyone the same level of disrespect. Isn't that right?
Okay, I see that I've misspoken, and I'll make sure that nothing like this happens again. I'll return to work now. I am so sorry for any kind of misunderstanding that I might have caused between your daughter and I, as well as you and I, sir.
How many times am I gonna have to have this same talk with you, huh? Well, the last time was just that. As of today, you are fired from this job. I tried to warn you over and over and over again about not acting that way, but I guess you just thought that it was okay for the rules to apply to everyone but you. Well, now you're finally going to be facing the consequences of your actions, and you'll have no one to blame for this but yourself.
Mr. Perry, are you really going to fire me like this? Because if you're serious, then I suppose I'll have no alternative but to leave. But just know that this is really disappointing, and I really was hoping for better from this company. But you do realize that you're doing this all because I'm gently informing your daughter of how to act in the office. I really don't think that you're thinking about this rationally. You do realize that this could have serious repercussions, not just for you, but for the whole company in the future because of the way that you are choosing to handle this, right?
Is that what you call all the horrible yelling and chastising of my daughter? I thought I already warned you about not doing that. In fact, I know for a fact that we already talked about this, and I told you to knock it off already. All I have to do is scroll up, and like you said, I can see the text evidence of me telling you to stop doing the exact same thing that you decided to just go and keep on doing. We talked about this and you didn't listen to me, and now you're trying to say that this isn't fair? Give me a break! But if you're not going to listen to a direct order from your real boss, then it's obvious that I have no choice but to let you go. And it's not like you can say that I didn't give you a second chance or time to change your behavior. It's so obvious to me now that you were never ever planning to change your ways, and that you were always going to continue to show nothing but disrespect towards my daughter and contempt for me as your boss. So if you're ever wondering how it all came to this, just reflect on your own actions for a change. I just hope some trash like you learns how to listen to your superiors one day. because that's the only way that you're ever gonna make it in the real world. You need to realize that the world doesn't revolve around you, and that there are times when you just need to shut up and do what you're told.
I guess we'll just have to see who the real piece of trash is, won't we? Because if you think that you can talk to anyone, employee or not, like this, well, I think you might just be in for a very rude awakening.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? You think that just because I'm firing you means that you can talk to me however you want? Here we go again with this insolent attitude of yours. Well, if I had any doubts in my mind about firing you already, which, for the record, I didn't have a single one of, this would have sealed the deal for me right now!
I'm just saying that your daughter shows up to work late every single day. She never does any actual work when she's here, and I've only ever seen her on her phone. All I'm saying is that she acts in no other way that I've seen other employees of any company that I've ever worked at behave, and I don't think that she was getting the talking to that she needed to be aware of how poorly she was acting. Are you really going to try and tell me that that isn't an employee in need of a talking to by someone? I mean, really, I just can't understand how you're reacting this way towards me when I really don't think that I've done anything wrong at all.
I'm telling you that you've got no right to be lecturing my daughter over every little tiny mistake she might happen to make while working here. I don't know how many times you're gonna make me repeat myself on this point, but if there was ever any problem that my daughter was causing here, then I would have gone and talked to her about it. For the last and final time, you are not her boss, and it was never your job to try and tell her what to do. It's not your place, and you need to learn some respect. You don't get to talk to people however you want just because you've worked here longer than them. Honestly, if you think that's all that seniority is at a company, then you have no respect for the real corporate structure that has kept this company going for generations.
I suppose we'll just have to agree to disagree on what the actual situation is. But if you want my opinion, you're being far too easy on Lily. I will tell you right now that if I went around my office and you asked how many people were happy with Lily's output, or if you asked about how well she was meeting her deadlines, well, I think the answers might really surprise you. Although now it seems to me like it might also be your fault who your daughter is seemingly incapable of changing her ways. So if I were you, I would be worried that this somehow gets traced back to you.
So now you're gonna try and blame all the problems you have with my daughter on me? I really don't think I've ever had to deal with such an uppity employee before. In all of my days, I just really don't think that I've ever had to deal with someone so disrespectful and presumptuous. If you think that you're ever gonna have an easy time getting along in any other company when you've got such a big chip on your shoulder, well, I think that you're the one that's gonna be in for a big surprise.
You know, your daughter actually told me the last time we talked that she was sick and tired of dealing with me and that she would have me fired. And now, here you are, firing me. So I have to ask, is this because your daughter came to you and asked you to do this? And I would think very long and very hard about how you want to answer that question. Because I think that if it ever came out that we're decided to fire me right now because of something that she told you, well then, I suppose it would really just come down to her word against mine, wouldn't it? Except that I can tell you right now that it won't just be my word. I've already told you all about how the whole office more or less feels the exact same about your daughter and having to put up with her laziness all of the time. In fact, if Lily did go to you and tell you that she wanted me fired, did she ever bother explaining to you why it is that she was being talked to by me in the first place? I mean, really, do you think that you actually got an impartial telling of events and what actually happened between the two of us? Because if not, I would just want to be very sure about what actually happened before acting on information from Lily.
Oh, this problem is much, much bigger than just you and my daughter now. If you really think that you can talk to your boss the way that you've been talking to me, then it's clear that there's just no place for you here. I don't ever want you to even step foot into this office building again. Do you understand me? You are fired effective immediately. I don't ever want to see your face again. You are never, ever, ever going to work for this company ever again as long as you live. In fact, if I had my way, I'd make sure that someone like you is never, ever, ever hired anywhere in this town again. I would make sure that you get put on a blacklist and that nobody would ever want to even have your name attached to their business ever again.
Well, okay then, if that's your final decision, then I won't spend any more time arguing my case. I can clearly see that any efforts towards that are just being wasted on someone as stubborn and pig-headed as you. I have spent the past several days trying to defend myself and calmly explain to you why it is that I had to have some talks with your daughter about her performance in this office, and you just refused to listen to a word of what I had to say. But all of this does make me think of one thing that I want to ask you, though. May I ask what you're going to tell HR and our managers about my firing? Because I think it might be difficult for you to merely be doing this because of how I treated your daughter. So, I'm just curious how you're going to present your case against me to the higher-ups in our office. After all, I am sure they are going to want to know why exactly you were firing an employee like me with a squeaky clean record just after one unverified complaint from another employee.
And just why in the world do you think I would type out everything I'm gonna say to them here for you to read? I'll find a good excuse to tell them that will make them all go along with my decision. I'm in charge of this department, and what I say goes. The only person at fault here is you for daring to try and argue with me after I warned you to stop going after my daughter.
I'm sorry, but I really think that I've been very calm and collected this whole time. The only one throwing around insults and using aggressive language here is you.
Oh, why am I even bothering to talk to someone that I've already fired? Can't you just shut your mouth, pack up your desk, and leave already? I already told you that I never ever wanted to see you again. Do you know how many times I've had to repeat my orders with you? In all of my time, I don't think that anyone has ever gotten under my skin as much as you have. You have no respect for your superiors, and you clearly don't care about anyone but yourself. I don't think that I've ever met someone as selfish and absolutely shameless as you.
Okay then, I understand. If this is how things are going to be, then I'll leave the office today.
Finally! At last you realized that even when fired, you still have to listen to me. I'm the boss in this part of the office, and my word is law. You wouldn't stop scolding my daughter, and now you're gonna pay for ignoring a direct order from me. Now get out of here and never ever come back.
I understand. I also understand that you're incapable of seeing things objectively and that you're not suited for the position that you have. So you should know that you are going to regret doing this. I will make sure of that. You think that you can treat people however you want, but you're not going to get away with this.
You're telling me that you're gonna try and make me regret firing you? And just what do you think you can even do against me now that you're fired, huh? Besides, I'm in charge here, so what I say goes. It's literally impossible for me to make a bad call because I'm the one who's in charge.
Yes, you are the one in charge, and that's what's going to come back to bite you. Anyways, I'll be taking my leave now.
Hello, Mr. Brown. I saw the message left on my desk that you wanted to talk to me about something. What can I do for you today? I was just wondering where in the world my granddaughter has gone to. Do you have any idea where she might have gone? I usually see her every day, but I just wasn't able to spot her today. Is she out or something? Where could she be? I'm sorry, I don't think I'm quite following what you mean by that, sir. Is everything okay? I don't really think I'd know at all whatever your granddaughter is doing or where she is. Sorry, I can't really be of any help on this. Well, it really is quite simple. I'm talking about my granddaughter. I want to know where she's gone. I know that she's supposed to be around here, but I don't see her, and I want to know where she is. Did something happen to her? I've been asking around, and everyone has been telling me that